a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
The bits.
Welcome to The Bits, hosted by your favorite jam buds, Robert.
And Charlie, I don't like this. I don't like this timeline.
This is a great timeline. This is also the timeline where if you want us to be at DashCon 2, you should let the people know. The people who are running and operating DashCon 2. I'm on their mailing list. Are you? The second that they open up being like, hey, recommend some cool cats to come on stage for our panels, you should recommend us because you love Steven Universe, right? Right. Good job.
Oh my goodness. Imagine we actually are at DashCon 2. We're there. We have a panel and we're like selling our merch like there. Imagine it. Are we dressing up? Are we,
I mean, I'm gonna dress up like I'm from a '90s sitcom. I'm gonna have a door on stage. I'm gonna knock on the door. You're gonna open it. I'm gonna say, how the fuck you say Chille Tid? How the fuck do you say this? The name of the episode?
Chille Tid, I think.
Chille Tid.
Garnet says it once in the episode, so I have to remember.
Chille Tid, which is season 2, episode 10 of Steven Universe, which premiered June 19th, 2015. But before we commence, hey, Charlie, did the postman bring us any post?
The postman has not brought us any posts since the last time.
Okay, what about the postwoman, the post they them? Did they bring us post?
No.
Homophobia.
No, there's no male, there's no female, there's no intersex messages, there's no non-binary messages.
I thought non-binaries only knew how to complain, eat hot chip, be on phone, or is that just gay people in general? Yeah, Charlie, do you like hot chip?
I like chip. What is hot chip?
Like a Takis. You like a Takis or like spicy sweet chili Doritos or something like spicier chips?
I just like me some corn chips, man. I'm just a basic corn chip person.
What about some mild salsa? Do you like mild salsa?
I don't like salsa.
Okay, is it a texture thing or a temperature thing?
It's a flavor thing. I just don't like. Thingy. I'm not a tomato based thing.
Oh, you're not a tomato lover. You and Mac likes tomatoes. Hey Mac, you like tomatoes, right? Yeah, okay. Trying to remember what this fucker likes and doesn't like is sometimes confusing because I also confuse it with what.
We're not the same person.
Finally, the first fucking thing that you and Charlie don't have in common is that they don't like tomatoes. Exactly.
There you go. Proof we're not the same person.
Finally, I can sleep for once in my fucking life, knowing that my boyfriend and my friend are not the same person. Even though I am friends with my boyfriend, I guess. Hey, babe, we're friends, right? Okay, cool.
Plot twist, we're not actually friends.
Oh, God, we're enemies.
Yes.
Enemies to slightly... fuck the enemies to friends to lovers pipeline. I want enemies to begrudging allies to worse enemies after the mission we teamed up on is over.
Enemies to podcast host.
Enemies to podcast host. That, you know what? Hey, that's just the vibe. Hey,
that's
cool.
The new rom-com.
we have 5 minutes of nonsense that I can put at the end of the episode. Fantastic. All
You're
right.
welcome.
So no mail. I say we just start talking about the episode.
Yeah, let's talk about the fucking episode, man. We start off and Amethyst is trying to kill Steven nonchalantly. She's just like, up for air? Well, that's not important.
What's the signal? 1 wiggle, 2 wiggles? What?
And Pearl's just like, focus! Amethyst, stop worrying about whether or not Steven is breathing. Focus, we have to find Jasper.
Yeah, and so she's like, whatever. She drops Steven into the ocean. He floats back up because, hey, life jackets are important for safety.
And this is where we wear them. It's very good. I was gonna say Pearl's doing the light thing with her head. I love this is my new favorite power.
I was going to say very quickly, it's like that scene in Big Hero 6 where they're having the big car chase scene in the beginning, and Hero almost falls out the car, so Baymax saves him, and he's like, remember, seatbelt, save lives.
Yeah. Listen, Baymax is important to me. I need to rewatch that movie.
Tadashi is here.
Don't make me cry live on the podcast. I'm not allowed.
So yeah, Pearl's mad at Amethyst because it's like, hey, what the fuck? And it's like, we're all tired. Garnet emerges from the water because if we can remember correctly, she's just like walking on the fucking floor of the ocean.
Of course she is, obviously. The fact that Steven hands her a life jacket and she throws it into the ocean and makes her own magical one. Question, does the magical life jacket work?
She is a being made out of light. It doesn't matter if she has a life jacket or not. She doesn't need to breathe.
This is true, but still, does it work? That's all I want to know.
Good question. Let's push Garnet into the water. And by that, I mean, let's attempt to push her into the water. Let's find out that she is like the density of a fucking rock, despite being made out of light. We can't push her, and then she punches us, and we fly like 30 miles north.
I was going to say she just immediately kills us. And then Pearl also calls them life diapers, which I think is amazing, actually.
Pearl's getting pissed at the lack of progress, saying that it's felt like light years since they've like come up on anything. And Amethyst is like, light years measures light, not years. And I just sort of like stood back for a second. I'm like, Amethyst, who the fuck? How do you know this?
Amethyst, why are you smart all of a sudden? Excuse me?
The brain cell possessed this one Amethyst for 2 seconds.
I think it's because everybody else, like, their brain cells have gone because they're so exhausted. So, like, Amethyst just, like, has it because she's the only person in this group that actually does sleep.
Amethysts are like orange cats because orange cats collectively share one brain cell. So when there were all the amethysts around, they all had one brain cell that they were sharing. And now that brain cell, despite the fact there's only one amethyst on Earth, that brain cell is not with her always. It's always like floating around, and very, very rarely it'll like stick to her for 2 seconds.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. So Garnet's like, we're gonna go drop Steven off home, and he tries to protest and nearly walks into the ocean, just, as one does, but he falls asleep. Garnet catches him.
I like the line where he's like, hey, first one to catch something wins, and then he falls asleep and Garnet catches him before he falls in the water, and she's like, I win.
Yeah. So they bring Steven home. Pearl is mad that they're like here and they're not like, doing the work that they're supposed to be doing. Steven's like, you're all tired, guys. Like, you look tired. And then, listen, the frame where Garnet is like, we look awesome. They look so tired, bro.
I love Pearl, especially. Her hair is just so tousled. She looks like she hasn't slept ever. I was asking this question to Mac because we were watching this episode together, and it's like, has Pearl ever gone to sleep in the 5,000 odd years that she's been on Earth?
No, she has not. Clearly, based on the, rest of the episode. Steven says, we're going to have a slumber party. It's going to be great. We're going to go, it'll make sleeping fun. It's fine. And Garnet's just like, okay, so you guys are going to do that. I'm going to go because clearly in her head, she's still reliving the events of like, which episode was it? Keeping It Together? Where she's just like, shit is going to happen. We need to find these people. We need to figure this shit out. I am stressed. I cannot sleep. It's not going to happen right now.
Garnet's going to go out to go looking for Lapis and Jasper. The rest of them are going to have a slumber party. So Steven begins a slumber party, and he's like offering Amethyst and Pearl a slumber pal each. A question for you, my friend: which slumber pal would you choose?
Oh, what are the options here? We have, is MC Bear an option? No. Okay, we have a bear. We have a kitty wearing like a little neck kerchief thing, and is that a frog? I don't know what the third option is actually.
Charlie.
What is it?
Charlie,
Is it a duck?
I don't know. No, neckerchief? Charlie, you're a Scooby-Doo fan. You know what the word is.
My brain forgot words. Do you not understand that I have such issues with word retrieval? I was like, what is the word?
I've told you the word. Retrieve it. What's the word?
That is not an ascot. There is no fucking way that that's
It's
an
close
ascot.
enough to an ascot. Anyway, I would choose the ascot friend.
MC Bearburger is not an option, so I don't
No.
think I'm gonna take one. I think I'm just gonna either steal his bear or I'm gonna grab Lion and we're just gonna take a nap together.
Absolutely.
I would-
The secret fourth option. How could I not see it coming?
Lion is the best slumber pal. Just saying. The giant mound of fluff.
They both decline, and then Amethyst instantly falls asleep. And Pearl's like, well, I don't know how to sleep. So Steven like instructs her, and then eventually he is describing how to fall asleep, and then he just falls asleep. He just falls asleep himself.
Yeah, she starts off, she's just like sitting, she's like, okay, am I doing it? No. Okay, she lies down, she's like, am I doing it? Like, no, you're still not doing it.
You need to just like lie down, close your eyes, not think, don't talk, and then he's asleep.
If only it were that fucking easy.
God, I wish I could go to sleep that easily. So he goes to sleep and he wakes up in a black and white like sitcom comedy kind of thing where everyone's human. And Pearl's excited because Steven is going for his first school dance with Connie. Amethyst, quirky Amethyst, she rolls down the stairs on a skateboard and Pearl chases her off screen. The doorbell ring. By the way, I love the because they put like stock audience sound effects in there.
Yeah, it's so charming. Listen, everybody without their gems is weird, but like it's just like very charming. We only have like this little box of space that we can see.
Yeah.
And then Garnet opens the door.
And then she opens and hey, the audience is clapping and she says her catchphrase, Chille Tid.
The name of the episode. I feel like if it's not in the trivia, we're gonna have to figure out what the heck that means.
It's definitely, it's not a specific reference. It's just like every popular character in a 90s sitcom had, or an 80s or 70s sitcom, whatever, had a catchphrase. I'm thinking of Fonzie right now. Hey! Or I'm thinking of fucking, what's it called? Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. Fucking going like, I forgot what he says. Fuck.
Bazinga.
There we It left my brain and you put it back. Damn it.
You're welcome.
But then the doorbell rings again. Oh my gosh, it's Connie. We get to go to the dance party, right? No, it turns into a prompt that I think we should have asked Josh to be a guest for this episode.
Why? Just because it's like, it's not that scary.
It's Lapis who then starts crying, or like water is pouring out of all of the orifices on her face, and she like has a hollowed out eyes and mouth, and then it changes to the Malachite realm.
Yeah, okay, I think this is the only scary part of the episode.
Steven is having nightmares, my guy. So I think it's fair enough to be like, yeah, we should have Josh on.
Josh, the secret third host of the podcast for every scary event that happens. Oh my goodness. So yeah, it turns scary. He opens up. He wakes up and Pearl's just like, "Whoa, are you okay?" He's like, "You've never had a dream before. It was so weird. Like Lapis was there and it doesn't make sense, but like dreams don't make sense. Okay? It's a mixed up movie in your brain. Whatever. You know, it's weird shit."
But while he's describing his dream to her, Pearl falls asleep, and then it's this weird dream about Lion, it starts with the big donut, and then he goes to Greg's van, and then Lion is driving Greg's van, but he's driving the van really well. But then Steven falls asleep quickly again after her, and in his dream, he's flying in the sky with a helicopter propeller in his back. Dogcopter, my fucking boy is back. And Steven is like, hey, can I get an autograph?
Mr. Copter.
Mr. Copter. Mac asked a valid question. Is his first name Dog? To which I said, yes. It is Dogcopter. So Mr. Copter meows and flies away. Random, like, Pearl's head appears, eats Steven. So I guess finally we can say there's been vor in Steven Universe. And quickly like spits him out and launches him fast enough to catch up. Amethyst to the side is riding a whale and then immediately disappears. And now we are in this like black void where Lapis appears behind Steven and she's yelling at him.
Well, that's because the ocean kind of like appeared with the whale and everything. So I assume that's why it transitions to the ocean. Robert, have you thought about the fact that Steven's like, yeah, it's like, it's really annoying to have to like describe dreams to people because like it's so boring and we have to describe dreams for this fucking episode. Have you thought about this fact? I'm thinking about this.
I'm also thinking about it.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so yeah, Lapis is just like, what the heck is going on, Steven? Why are you here? I'm trying to concentrate. You should go. Steven, why are you in her brain? Get out of her brain.
Yeah.
Also, there's another mouth. There's more vor, actually. Whose mouth is that?
I'm pretty sure that's Malachite's.
Could be.
And so then he wakes up again and Steven's confused. Amethyst is pointing at a hollow projection from like Pearl's gem, which is her dream, I guess. And it's where she's like, oh my gosh, Rose, I can't believe we're here. I'm so excited to be with you. And then it turns out to be Greg's face on Rose's body, which terrible.
This is why Pearl doesn't sleep. Like, whether or not she has slept before, this is why she will never sleep again. Because it's so cute. They're surfing on a pizza and everything. They're being gay. Let's go tour the galaxy. And it's Greg.
If you were in this situation, it would become a nightmare for you to be like, oh my gosh, Rose, I can't believe we're spending all this time together. And then Rose turns around and says, good morning.
Fuck! That's the worst timeline. It ends up being Uncle Grandpa.
Good morning. Don't worry, Steven. None of this is canon.
Fuck you!
So yeah, Steven tells Pearl that he had another dream about Lapis, and she's like, well, maybe, and she's like, well, no, that's fine. That's okay. Dreams don't exist. They're fake. They're not real, because she's like, embarrassed about her weird dream. Steven's like, no, I talked to Lapis, and Pearl's like, well, maybe you're using your dream to connect mentally with her. How? Who fucking knows? That's how.
Weird, not explained diamond powers. Activate.
So Steven's like, okay, I'll go back to sleep. Hey, Pearl, tell me about your dream. And then Pearl's like, oh, I don't want to. And Amethyst is like, do it. It's for the greater good. And then Pearl gets to like, well, my dream was about, and then Steven's honk shoeing.
Is this the first time we've had Steven dream powers? Technically.
Should be.
Because
I'd be genuinely surprised if this shows up like under Steven's powers.
Well, it's definitely under Steven's powers. But like, I'm just wondering if like, because this is before he starts putting his brain into like the watermelon people, because that ends up happening like later this season because it's a Malachite thing. So yeah, this is the introduction of the dream powers. That's why this is important.
Dream, 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 dream.
Hit the hay, fast asleep, dream a dream, you little bleep. Dream, 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 dream.
And now we get sued by Disney. Let's go.
That's not Disney.
Is it not?
No, Spy Kids is not Disney.
Oh no, they're that weird company that only made Spy Kids and the
Machete
and the fucking Shark Boy and Lava Girl movie.
It's called Troublemaker Studios. They've actually made like maybe 20 movies, most of which I have not heard of, but interesting. Okay, back to Steven Universe. We're intentionally dreaming. Everything's floating past him.
I like how he's like, oh, cool. I know I'm dreaming. I'm aware I'm dreaming. And so he starts like running around and he finally sinks into hair. And then he finds Malachite's realm, which is this like really fucky weird, like green lit. It's like green, like neon green lit area.
Yeah. And so then he finds Lapis, who's like standing on top of some water. She's chained down. And he's like, hey, tell us where you are. We can help you. Like, we want to help this situation. She's like, I can do this by myself. I have to keep her down with the weight of the ocean and everything. And then she goes into the water. And then Jasper comes up. And Jasper still wants to kill Steven, of course. So, it's not great. It's really not great. She goes down. Lapis comes back up with her wings and everything. She's like, I have to do this, Steven. Like, I have to concentrate to keep her down here. She is too strong. Ah!
And then they like both sink away and like everything goes away until Steven is like floating in the ocean directly in front of Malachi. And Malachi's like, go! Because Lapis is in control. And
Yeah.
I love how, again, it's a lot of self-punishment, I guess, because Steven is offering to help Lapis, and Lapis is like, no, after everything I've done, this is what I have to do.
Yeah, she's like, let me do this for you.
Rose!
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, so she's like, we're Malachite now. And
Brr.
that's how that shit happens.
Yeah.
He obviously wakes up scared, and he tells the others, like, what's going on.
Yeah.
She's in control. For now.
For now. Garnet arrives home, and she's like, man, this is a fucking weird slumber party. And Steven, the way he fucking explains this is hilarious to me. I need to quote exactly how he says it. He says, because he runs up to Garnet and he like gives her a hug, hugs around her thighs. And he's like, Amethyst was on the skateboard and then dog coptered me out of me and was just not interested in what I had to say at all. And I might have some issues I need to work out, but Lapis, she's out there and she's still. And then Garnet is like, listen, I know you're worried, but there's nothing we can do right now. So she picks up Steven and drops him near the gems. And she's like, so let's take it easy. I'll show you how it's done. And then she steps backward and just flops face first into the ground.
And she's snoring. Yep.
I looked at it, I'm like, damn, I can't believe Garnet fucking died.
Right? That's literally what I said too when it happened. I'm like, Garnet's dead. Real talk, real question here. How can gems snore since they don't have to breathe?
A fantastic question that I don't particularly know the answer to.
Oh, well, I tried. Hey, Robert.
Hey, Charlie.
It's time for some Crystal Temple trivia.
Crystal Temple trivia.
This episode was not hinted at in the Steven Baum's promo art.
The title, Chille Tid, translates roughly to chilling time in Danish and in Norwegian bokmal. Matt Burnett has stated that the crew got the idea for the title from an overseas commercial for a regular show. The title is also a play on words of the phrase Chille Tid. In Steven's dreams, Garnet's first words were Chille Tid.
When Pearl complains that we have been searching for light years, Amethyst remarks that light years measure light, not years. Neither of these is true, since light years measure distance, the distance something travels in a year at the speed of light.
Technically speaking, Amethyst is still kind of correct, but whatever. I'm not one to argue with the fucking smart assholes who manage the Steven Universe wiki. When Dogcopter meows in Steven's dreams, it may be a nod to Dogcopter 4, because in Keep Beach City Weird, Ronaldo states Dogcopter's parents were cats.
No, it's not Keep Beach City Weird. It's
Keep Beach City spoiler free. Ronaldo states Dogcopter's parents were cats. What the fuck is
It's the title of the Tumblr post.
Oh, right. Oh my god.
Because remember, keepbeachcityweird.tumblr.com.
Yeah. Oh god, I'm gonna die.
Have fun with that. In Steven's sitcom dream, the human version of Pearl is wearing an outfit similar to one of her early pre-pilot designs.
When Steven is dreaming for the second time, Pearl shows up only as a head. When she turns to her side, however, it is the same image of Pearl that is shown on several of Cartoon Network's clothing items, except with different coloring.
In Steven's first dream, Steven somewhat appropriately imagines Pearl, Amethyst, and Garnet as the mother figure, the older sibling figure, and as the cool relative figure, respectively. Yeah, that makes sense.
According to Jesse Zook, the line, "It's always a Monday for Lapis," said by Steven, ended up not making it to the final episode. I want to know where this would have fit into the episode.
Yeah, I think that's why it didn't make it in the episode. It doesn't really fit.
You gotta say it like an Italian cousin kind of thing. You gotta be like, "It's always a Monday for Lapis."
It probably would have been like right after he opens the door or something. Like, because it's got to be part of the sitcom dream.
You know what I say, one in the bush, two in the duck. You know what I say, technically it's for hay, not horses.
Okay, cultural references. Amethyst's catchphrase during the sitcom dream, "Bunga Kawa," is a flipped version of the word Cowabunga. This is a common catchphrase in cartoons to express enthusiasm. It originated from Peanuts and was made popular by Michelangelo in the 1987 series Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and by Bart Simpson from The Simpsons. This flipped catchphrase was also said by Sunstone in Change Your Mind.
Sunstone's one and only appearance.
No, there
Twice?
was another one. Future.
Right, Future. I forgot. Steven's first dream was in the style of old sitcoms. At the start of the dream, Greg narrates Steven Universe was filmed before a live studio audience, which is used in many sitcoms. Canned laughter was often used in the background. Except for Lapis Lazuli, everyone is in black and white and appears to be human. Pearl does not have her gem, Garnet doesn't have her third eye, and her gems are not visible. Amethyst's gem is also not visible, and everyone is wearing old-fashioned human-style clothing. Garnet in the first dream acts similar to Arthur Fonzarelli, also known as the Fonz, on the 1970s TV comedy Happy Days, complete with the title of the episode being similar to his typical greeting of "Hey" when he enters the scene.
Alrighty.
Like I said, reference to the Fonz.
Apparently. In the second dream, the way Steven is flying with a propeller on his back is a reference to the character Carlson from Carlson on the Roof, a children's book series created by Swedish author Astrid Lindgren. No, it's a reference to fucking Dogcopter.
After Pearl eats Steven and spits him out, very typical sentence to read on the fucking Steven Universe wiki, the way Steven is flying with flames coming out of his feet resembles the way the titular character of the manga, Astro Boy, flies.
When Steven falls off the raft and is caught by Garnet, his pose resembles the signature pose of Cactuars from the Final Fantasy game franchise. Okay.
The scene in the Malachite's realm mirrors a segment from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the Chain Necklace Deathmatch, in which two competitors are chained together and must fight for dominance over the other. Even the combatants match the ones in JoJo. Jasper is the large, muscled warrior, and Lapis as a smaller fighter. The main difference is that the chain connecting them seems to go underground, rather than into the ceiling as in JoJo.
The way Pearl was holding Rose in her dream resembled how Jack Dawson held Rose Dewitt in the movie Titanic. Furthermore, both characters being held are named Rose.
When Pearl gets frustrated that she has to wear a life vest, an anime-style anger mark appears on her head briefly. Steven Universe is made by weebs.
That's one of my favorite things about anime. I love those things. The shape that Lapis's water wings take after they move over her torso, and the way that she appears to sink into the ground in Malachite's realm, resembles the way that the character Zetsu travels underground in the manga and anime Naruto.
Malachite's realm shares some similarities to the Gate of Truth from Full Metal Alchemist.
The phrase, sleep with the fishes, when Steven says, don't worry, Lapis, we won't let you sleep with the fishes, is taken from the famous mafia movie, The Godfather.
And now for Charlie's favorite section.
Continuity?
Malachite is still at the bottom of the ocean. Steven learns the name of Lapis and Jasper's fusion. This is the first time the fusion's name has ever been explicitly mentioned in an episode.
This is the second time Steven dreams about Dogcopter, the first being in Lion 3 straight to video.
When Steven wakes from his first nightmare after the sitcom dream, Pearl appears to have been watching him sleep, much like in Lion 3 straight to video.
Amethyst says Bunga Kawa during Steven's sitcom dream, which is similar to Bawa Kunga, one of her victory cries in Attack the Light, and later Sunstone's catchphrase in Change Your Mind.
You played Attack the Light. Does she say that?
I don't remember shit now. It's been so long.
In Pearl's dream/nightmare, Greg Rose thanked her for fixing his van. This was a callback to the couple of times she has done so. For example, in the episode Reformed, as well as after it was wrecked during the events of Ocean Gem.
Pearl wanting to travel space with Rose without Greg resembled how she almost ran away with Steven against Greg's wishes in Space Race.
Pearl used the photokinesis ability that she used in keeping it together in this episode.
This is not the first time that Steven displayed telepathic abilities. Previously, he was able to sense the lighthouse gem monster's emotions in a horror club. Okay, so it's not the first, empathetic thing, but it's still the first, dream episode thing, yeah. I believe.
And so, now we have to give out our Pearl points. I'm giving my Pearl point to Dogcopter, parentheses, dream version.
I don't know. He meowed at Steven. That's so mean.
Steven asked for an autograph unprompted. Damn, let a famous guy just drive on a Sunday. And by drive, I mean fly.
Can I give it to the studio audience watching Steven's dream?
The titular studio audience in which Steven Universe is filmed in front of?
Yes.
Sure, why not? And then the question, it has to be a sleep-related question. I guess something about nightmares? What's the last dream you remember?
I think there's a better episode for talking about like dreams and nightmares. So I was gonna say, how old were you when you had your first slumber party?
It's cute. 20?
Oh boy.
As in just like, are we talking like sleeping in the same room as someone else, not person you're dating, like a friend and a group of friends?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 20.
Damn.
What about you?
Is this the life of an AMAB person, or is this just the life of Roberts?
Yeah, I guess. Here's the thing. I had a few friends like throughout middle school and high school, but like I don't know. My parents, it's less an AMAB thing and more of like my parents were strict up until I graduated high school. So they're like, hey, no slumber pod is.
That's fair. That's fair.
What about you, Charbine?
Oh, mine. It was definitely in elementary school.
That was a fucking Chewbacca growl if I've ever heard it.
Okay, let me check to see when this movie came out, and that'll give me help.
Here, let's see if I know what movie you're talking about.
The Samantha, an American Girl movie.
A pick. Okay. I don't even.
2004. Okay, so I was right. I feel like I was like 7. So I think it was
that would be correct because 2004 is 7 years after the year you were born.
It was in fact. So yeah, it must have been when I was about 7 because I remember we watched Samantha, an American Girl Holiday at this person's house. It was a very big group. It was the first time I slept at someone else's house, and I did not sleep. I did not sleep at all.
I think I slept at now that I think about it, I think I slept at my best friend, elementary school, like best friend's house once when I was like 11 or 12, maybe. I forget why, but I remember specifically they had like a second bed I slept on once. I don't remember. Anyway, cool. That's the end of the episode. As usual, thank you everyone for listening. I mentioned a couple episodes back, but like I really love the people who stick to the end to listen to us be silly. Hopefully the past couple episodes have had something silly to listen to after the credits.
We're silly, goofy people. We love doing silly, goofy things.
Or just silly and goofy people who love doing silly, goofy things. Especially our outro. Because, Charlie...
if every podcast were perfect...
we wouldn't have the bits.
Bye!
Bye! You can follow this podcast's socials at thebitssupod on Instagram and Tumblr. You can send a message to our Diamond Line through thebitssupod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support us financially, join us at our Patreon, patreon.com/thebitsu. By becoming a patron, you can join the Deus Ex Media Discord server, where you'll be able to chat with us and other listeners about Steven Universe, or whatever else. Our $5 patron tier also gets you access to Steven's Room, our monthly bonus show. There, we'll be talking about a wide variety of topics, which usually have something to do with Steven in some way. No promises.
You can check out our merch store, The Bits SU, on Redbubble to find custom designs made by yours truly. Or if you cannot or do not want to support us financially, we'd really appreciate a rating, a review, or even letting your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. It really helps. Our music was written and produced by Jason Hilton. You can find him at Negative Selections on Instagram. You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms. I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws.
You can find me, Robert, at The Damn Meme Page on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Blue Sky. If you want to have more from me, check out my YouTube channel, also called The Damn Meme Page, where I make videos mainly about Percy Jackson, but also sometimes other fun stuff. The Bits is proud to be a part of Deus Ex Media, which features great podcasts like Burn Before Reading, a podcast about literature, where your hosts, Christina and Leela, cringe about writing.
I'm Christina Kahn.
And I'm Leela Hilton.
And this is Burn Before Reading,
the podcast about literature.
We're here to examine the terrible writing we did when we were younger.
Like that school project you were really proud of.
Or that poem you wrote when you got dumped.
Well, how about that apology letter you wrote to your mom when you got into that fight?
Or the song you recorded before you knew how to write music.
Okay, don't at me. And we're here to talk about other cringy literary topics along the way.
Like the Library of Alexandria.
And Dewey Decimal.
His name was Melville Dewey.
Oh, well, do we want to get the clips rolling? I don't think I ever recovered from this in terms of being cool.
Why did I say any of this?
I do like the drama.
So there is actually quite a bit to unpack here.
Oh, all this drama was so addictive as a teenager.
There's no punctuation to it. I'll start with that.
I actually have no memory of this.
There were so many lies that I was telling it.
It's not terrible.
No one really taught me how to write a good short story.
That was a journey.
Listen to Burn Before Reading
Every Wednesday, wherever pods are cast.
I can't sing Hercules because if I do, Disney will sue us.
We can just let Disney sue us. That's fine.
Big Chungus is here. What the fuck?
We can make
Oh my
Disney
God.
mad at least.
Charlie,
Yes?
he's here. Big Chungus is here.
What does that mean?
I'm showing you who Big Chungus is.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
There's an old Bugs Bunny cartoon where he inflates himself into a fat Bugs Bunny for 2 seconds, and people
Why?
have reasons. He's mocking Elmer Fudd, and the internet's like, hey, what if we took that 2 frames of him being fat Bugs Bunny and we called him Big Chungus and we make an entire joke about him?
Why?
It's the internet, Charlie.
Why?
Charlie, it's
Just
the internet.
why?
We
Why?
are. Hey, speaking of the internet,
Dave X Media.